I'm going to show you exactly how AI can help your team create polished, professional work. The kind of work that used to require expensive designers and hours of effort. Emails, presentations, reports, brochures, all of it done faster and looking better thanks to AI. By the end of this video, you'll see how amazing AI can really be. I'm Drew Styling. Let's get started. Here is a PowerPoint that I had made on my own. It had what I needed, such as the key points that I'm trying to get across and some photos tied to those key points. But even though it had all of the necessary information, I realized that I wanted it to be a lot more colorful. So let's take a look at what it takes to get AI to make us a PowerPoint presentation that blows people away. When you hear AI, you might have one specific tool or website in mind. However, there are tons of great AI tools to choose from. I'm discovering new ones every day myself. For this project, I wasn't sure which AI tool to use, but I decided to give Claude a try. The most common way that you will use AI is to go to a website and start a chat with it. And that's what I did with Claude. I went to the Claude website, I opened a chat box, and I began to tell it what sort of assistance I needed. Chats like this are how most AI projects begin. Using AI is just like texting back and forth with a friend. And unlike a friend, it'll never ask you to borrow money. In order for AI to help us make changes to something that we've already made, the first step is to upload the file that we have. You usually do that by using some sort of upload option. They're different on each AI program. For the case of Claude, you'll click the plus sign and then select Add Files or Photos. Now that the file was uploaded, Claude was ready for me to tell it what changes I was hoping to see. I wanted to brighten up the slides, so I gave the following instructions. Please take this PowerPoint and make it look more colorful. I typed that into the chat box, clicked the red send arrow on the bottom right, and Claude immediately got to work making me a brand new PowerPoint. Amazing. A few words and a click of a button. Using AI really is this simple. After a couple of minutes, Claude let me know that a new PowerPoint was ready. And here is what that new PowerPoint looked like. Yikes. I'm going to tell you a dirty little secret. Are you ready? Here it is. AI is almost always terrible on its very first try. It's like an overeager intern. It thinks it's making you happy. It thinks it's doing everything perfect. But you're going to have to make some corrections and you're definitely going to have to give some feedback. Still, there were some things that I was happy with. I liked the colors. I liked some of the ideas that I had. But often, like the weatherman, AI simply guesses wrong. In order to get the most of AI, you need to have some patience and tell it what you liked and what you didn't like about the changes that it made. In the case of the PowerPoint that Claude made for me, we did not like that the text was overlapping, and we absolutely did not like that some of the boxes were scattered all over the page. That didn't look so good. Since I wasn't really that happy with what Claude was doing for me, I decided to try a different AI tool. I started thinking about what tools my friends had recommended, and I remember that one of them had told me about this website called Manus. All right, I decided to give that a try. Just like before, I went to this Manus's website and I began a new chat. And just like before, I had to upload the file that I was working with. I didn't really like what Claude had given me, so I decided to go back and upload the original file that I had created on my own. In the case of Manus, I did this by clicking the Add from Local Files button, and once it was uploaded, I went to the chat box and typed the following. Make it look more colorful. After I clicked the black send arrow on the bottom right of the chat box, Manus got to work. And here is what Manus gave me after I made that request. I loved the new color scheme. However, I noticed that each slide looked a little bit different. It's like one of those days when you accidentally wear mismatched socks. It happens to the best of us. As you can see, the text boxes are in different locations on each slide. The headings all look different, and the pictures are in different places on each slide. Since I was not yet totally happy with this, I knew that I was going to have to give some more instructions to Manus. In order to get the changes that I wanted, I needed to go back into that same chat box that I had used before. The good news is I did not need to upload a new file. Manus could simply keep working on the file that it had already created. This saves us a lot of time. To get these changes, I went back to the chat box and typed the following instructions. The title and the boxes are in a different place on every slide. Please put them in the same spot on every page. Also, please make sure that the capitalization in the titles is consistent. Now, of course, you don't need to say please, but my mom's probably going to be watching this, so I want her to think that I still have some kind of manners. Here's what Manus gave me next. Even though I gave Manus specific instructions, there are still so many things wrong with this. The nerve of it. The truth is that AI can really test your patience at times, like that person in line at the grocery store that has way more than 10 items or less. Every time I go, that happens to me. The good news is that most of the time, AI will eventually give you what you want, but it might take several rounds of trying to get there. Even still, it's so much quicker than doing it on your own. I knew that I was going to have to be more clear with my instructions to get the result that I wanted. Yet again, I went back into the chat box to tell Manus what fixes I needed. I started typing and told it, I don't like that some of the words are inside of the boxes and some of the words are outside of the boxes. Please move the words so they aren't touching the lines and make sure that the columns are straight so that the list is easy to read. Here is what Manus gave me next. This version started to look a little better, but there are still many things in this PowerPoint that need to be fixed. On one of the slides, you can see that some of the names of the products were still crossing over the lines. And also, some of the words on these slides were still really hard to read because they weren't lined up correctly. For our fifth attempt at getting AI to make us an amazing PowerPoint, I once again went back into Manus's chat window. This time I told him that there is too much empty space on the right side of the page. Please make the boxes and text wider so that they fill up the whole page. Here's the updated PowerPoint that we got this time. Right now is a time for me to give you an important public safety warning. Always review what AI does for you. Always. AI will often make changes that you did not ask for. For some reason, on this attempt, Manus made the PowerPoint worse. Disappointing. This version had an even bigger empty gap on the right side of one of the slides. And on another slide, one of our boxes was pushed so far to the left that one of the words was actually cut off at the edge of the screen. I went back into the chat once more to try and fix how our slides looked. This time I told Manus the slides look crooked. Please put the information in the middle of the page and make the boxes take up the right amount of size on every single slide. Once again, Manus got to work, and here's what we got this time. Even though I gave Manus clear instructions, there are still many things that are wrong here. It's starting to feel like a fast food drive-through window with a severely broken intercom. And I know you might be thinking, what's the point? But trust me, this is still a heck of a lot quicker than doing it on our own. I continued giving him more instructions, telling him that the text was all squeezed together in a column on the left side, the type of things it should have noticed. Right now, it's probably a really good time to take a deep breath and remember that AI needs a lot of guidance. If you're a parent, I'm guessing that all of this probably sounds very familiar. Even though there are still some small frustrations, for the most part, I am happy with how our PowerPoint is looking, and I am happy at how quickly Manus is doing it. Still, we were waiting for that perfect finished product. Back to the chat window we go. I once again told him to fix some empty space on the right side and make sure that the sizes of the letters are the same on every slide. And here's what he gave us next. Kind of pretty happy. The spacing's looking good. Wait, are we done? We what? Not quite yet, because for some bizarre reason, Manus deleted the photo of me on the very last slide, and I took that personally. This is what AI does at times. It makes changes that you never requested, and that's why we must always review what AI does for us. If not, you're going to be left looking pretty embarrassed when you're making that presentation in front of all of your colleagues. At this point, there are only some minor changes remaining. Yet again, I went back to the chat box, and this time I told Manus, please put my photo back on the last slide and make sure that all the titles at the top are lined up perfectly. Here is what Manus gave me next. Well, Chef's Kiss, 4 stars, no notes, perfection, and so much faster and better looking than I could do it on my own. I'm just blown away by how good this looks. This is exactly what I was hoping for, and this is why I wanted to use AI to make me a gorgeous PowerPoint. The effort was worth it. Since I don't need Manus to make any more changes, I was now ready to download the file onto my local computer. I did that by clicking the download button and then selecting which folder on my computer I wanted to save it in. Since I downloaded this file and started emailing it to other people, I have gotten so many compliments. They rave about how nice it looks. But honestly, I don't like to tell them it's AI made. I'll take the credit myself. As you can see, AI is a wonderful tool that can help you create things that you never imagined that you would be able to create. Yes, it takes some effort to learn, but as you saw in this video, if you stick with it and keep giving AI clear instructions, eventually it's going to make something amazing for you. And you know what the key is to having AI making something amazing for you? Something that you're proud of, something that your boss loves? Having the knowledge to give AI the correct instructions. It takes some time to learn how to do that, but I am here to help you in that process. Amazing things will happen when your team masters AI. Your nonprofit starts getting polished grant applications and donor letters that look like you hired a very expensive professional to make. Your school creates beautiful materials that impress parents and the community. Your students create work that makes them so proud and inspires an even greater passion for learning. Your business creates some marketing materials that are the envy of all of your customers. And all of this can be done very fast and very cheap thanks to AI. If you want your team to fully master AI and get the benefits out of it, let me know. I can teach your team how to do it. Your colleagues will be thrilled once they see how quickly they've become experts at putting AI to use for their work. That feeling of, wait, AI just made this for me? That's what keeps people energized and hungry to learn more. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it informative. And as I said at the start, my name is Drew Stiling, and my contact info is in the description below. I can't wait to come give a seminar at your organization. I'll see you soon.